What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are diving into the participation report for the Detroit Lions and for the Tennessee Titans. This is the first one of the week. It is Wednesday, so let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. Now this video is going to be a little bit shorter than the usual ones. Why? Because I got to fly through this thing. I actually have to go. I'm kind of late, so I got to hurry up and do this injury report, but I did want to get it out to you guys on time. So before we get into the participation for both the Lions and for the Titans from Wednesday's practice, first off, going back to last game, Frank Ragnow played that game with a fractured throat. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. A fractured throat. I've never heard of that. That's got to be extremely painful. I guess at one point he told Matthew Stafford, hey, Matthew, you're going to have to do a really good job communicating with the rest of the offensive line because I can't really talk. A fractured throat? You played through that and you couldn't even tell. Frank Ragnow, if you're not in the Pro Bowl after that, I don't know what to tell you. I am so sorry. You should be in the Pro Bowl. That is awesome. You can tell players are just going out there and fighting. So, huge respect to Frank Ragnow. We know Stafford was going through it, but huge respect to Frank Ragnow. No question about it. Before we get into the participation report as well, let's just touch on Matthew Stafford. It's the biggest name. That's why a lot of you guys are here. That's why I'm here, to be honest with you. Matthew Stafford, he will not be practicing today, and there's a chance that he doesn't practice at all this week, but that won't mean that he can't play on Sunday. So, obviously, they're still waiting till the end of the week to make that decision. We've discussed that, but he may not practice all week and he could still play. Darrell Bevell said that is a possibility. We saw it last time when Stafford was placed on the COVID list. This time with an injury, he said, he's going to communicate with Matthew Stafford. And really the biggest thing is, can he function? Can he protect himself? If he can do that, then he could play on Sunday. But he may not practice at all this week. So we could go through every day and see no participation, and he still could play on Sunday. Right now, it's still basically questionable. We're not really sure. We'll look through it every day. Hopefully we see a day where it says limited. That'd be great if we could see a limited participation day. But it's not out of the question yet. Matthew Stafford, he's going to try to push through it. Chase Daniel talked about it, that he's preparing to play, but he knows Matthew Stafford will do literally anything he can to get onto the field. And Matthew Stafford's doing the same thing. He's just going to try to see if he can function. He said on Sunday he didn't feel very good. You'll see that when we react to the sights and sounds. Yeah, he didn't sound very good at all. But he has improved. But still, he can't function right now. He's just hoping it's better. And with the rib injury, there's not a lot you can do for it. You just got to basically rest and, let it heal itself. There's not a lot you can do for that kind of injury. He said maybe he'll tape a pillow. He might tape a pillow to his ribs for the game. I mean, hey, that's got to be awesome. A pillow on your ribs. I mean, it would be kind of comfy when you fell if you get sacked or hit, but it would be kind of annoying. He's not serious. Okay, so that's where Matthew Stafford's at. We'll keep that updated as the week goes on. But now, let's take a look at the participation report. We'll start off with our Detroit Lions. Jason Cabinda, as you guys see, is no participation today with an illness. Something to look out for their illness. Hey, temperatures change and things like that. We could see some players come down with some illnesses. By the way, the Lions are practicing indoors today. So, with the colder weather, you're going to practice indoors. Terrell Crosby, no participation with an ankle injury. Kenny Golladay, no participation with a hip. Crosby was out last week. We could see Matt Nelson again. We could see Dan Skipper activated. When you see Kenny Golladay, not a big surprise. Darrell Bevell touched on him this morning, saying he's basically doing the same thing he's been. Progressing in that way, but that tells me he's probably not going to play Sunday. I hate to say it, but as of now, it just doesn't look very good for Sunday. So, we'll monitor it throughout the week, but right now it just doesn't look great. Deshaun Hand, no participation with his ankle. He was able to give it a go. He was questionable all week last week. He was able to give it a go. But, Wednesday, you're going to see a lot of no participation. Guys are just resting. At this point in the season, guys are resting. Frank Ragnow, you see with throat, no participation. We'll see if he can play this week, but, I mean, he did it, and you couldn't even tell. But, obviously, you don't want to have to play through that, so let that thing rest. Darrell Roberts, no participation with a hip injury. Matthew Stafford, you see him on there with the right thumb and also his ribs. We know about that. Now, getting on to the limited participation here, you see John Penisini, limited participation. Okay, he was another game time decision. He did play with the shoulder last week. Adrian Peterson, you don't see him a lot on here. Forearm injury, limited participation. Tracy Walker, limited with the shoulder. Austin Bryant, full participation. Good to see there with thigh. And CJ Moore, full participation. And we know Jeff Okudah was placed on IR. CJ Moore is a big one because that may mean that Bobby Price may not be activated. But obviously the biggest one here is Matthew Stafford. We'll see. We got to keep her out for Julian Okwara, Trey Flowers. We'll see if we can get any of those guys back. Everson Griffin, we'll have to monitor him throughout the week to see if the timetable sets up so he can get back, because we need some defensive line help. No question about it. But really not a lot of big shots here. You're going to see a lot of no participations. Thursday's a bigger day because Wednesday they kind of go light. Thursday they start to ramp it up with Darrell Bevell, and Friday's light again. So Thursday's a big day, but obviously Matthew Stafford has got to keep an eye on. But again, there could be no participation all week, and he still could play. That's the crazy thing about all of this. So just because you see no participation doesn't mean mean he won't play, but if we do see participation in any of these days, that's actually a very, very good sign and a very good step in the right direction.
Wait, you gotta keep quiet. I gotta get this done, dude.
We're getting this out on time, see? This might not even get out of time. I don't have Wi-Fi now that I think about it. Whatever. Let's go to the Titans side of the injury report. I have the names right here. We got Dennis Kelly, the right tackle. They got a lot of injuries, okay? We think we got a lot of injuries. They got a lot of injuries. Their offensive line, super hurt. Dennis Kelly, right tackle, no participation today. You see Roger Saffold on there. He's also an offensive lineman. That's their left guard. You see Jeffrey Simmons, Geoff. Hey, he's their backup tight end. And then you got Kenny Vaccaro. So they have some injuries they're dealing with as well. I was watching Titan Upload yesterday previewing this, and he was discussing some of their injuries. So they're a little bit depleted as well. So missing some offensive linemen. We're missing tons of defensive linemen. Maybe we'll get some pressure. You know, that'd be great to play an offensive lineman that's not completely healthy because we are not healthy. Now, they have some limited participation guys, A.J. Brown, Christian Fulton, Dory Jackson, Ben Jones. Those are big names. Ben Jones is their center, so another one. So three the offensive linemen with dealing with injuries. A.J. Brown, their top wide receiver. We know how good he is. Christian Fulton, the rookie cornerback out of LSU. I liked him, you know, coming out of college. And their backup safety in Dory Jackson. So some big names dealing with injuries. Some did not participate. Some limited, but it's really that offensive line, which is big for us because that's where we're hurt on the defensive line. So maybe we'll match up well there. Okay, I'm going to end it here. Oh, also, DeAndre Swift, he didn't even know if he actually had a concussion or not when he was out. He just said he was starting to have headaches and things like that, and he wasn't feeling well. So that's good news, I guess. If he didn't have an actual concussion, that'd probably be good for his long-term health. But I'll end it here. You got anything to say? Great. All right, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and we're out, or I'm out.